All right, folks, about to be a legend and go watch the new Karate Kid Legends movie. I don't know what to expect from this. I didn't love the trailers, to be honest with you. I hope this isn't just, oh, look, it's Ralph Macchio. And, oh, look, remember Cobra Kai? I want there to be an actual story. I want there to be an interesting story. I'm excited about this kid. I'm excited about Jackie Chan. Otherwise, let's see what it's got. All right, wanted to give you all my first reaction walking out of the theater. Some of my initial fears were absolutely realized while watching this movie. The word generic came to mind countless times, and this movie really struggled finding its footing. Like, it has a story, and then there's a different story in the second half. So many things to say, so many improvements it could have made. I mean, I definitely have some positives, absolutely. We'll talk about that here in a second. But all in all, man, if you're a hardcore fan, I don't know if this is going to work.
If you all don't know, I'm a massive fan of Cobra Kai. Like, I've always liked the original Karate Kid, but Cobra Kai got me to go back, rewatch Karate Kid, watch all of the sequels, and just get invested in this world. And so when I saw them make the announcement that, first of all, Jackie Chan, like, how's that work? Because he was in the reboot. Is this the reboot? It's not that. It's in the OG world. This could essentially be looked at as a spin-off of sorts of Cobra Kai. My worry with that was, okay, how is that going to impact the finale? Are we going to hit on anything we saw in the show? Do people have to watch the show to understand this film? None of that is the case, right? You can go into this movie never having seen really any of the Karate Kid films. You'll be a little confused when Macchio shows up, but other than that, it's fine, because this is a separate story with a new character. Jackie Chan is our new sensei, and he comes to America to try to find, or to allow his mother to find some peace. She's done with the fights. It's over.
You're done.
You want to talk about it?
My mom wants us to leave everything behind.
Sometimes it is the only way to move forward.
And Li Fong is relocating to New York City. Now, this movie is rated PG-13. There's martial arts violence, a little bit of language. It is, in its own way, a coming-of-age story. It has all, not a few, not one or two, all of the coming-of-age tropes. A guy comes to a new place, there are some bullies, there's a girl that he may or may not have a little thing for, and of course he wants to do the thing that his mother wants him not to do. And all of those elements are things we've seen before. We've seen them recently in Cobra Kai. I mean, what I love about Cobra Kai is it takes all of those tropes, mixes it with this 80s feel, and almost has this new wave retro vibe to it that encapsulates the 80s, but works perfectly in modern day. And I was really hoping Karate Kid's Legend, which one? Karate Kid Legends. I had to read it. I was hoping it would do that. Unfortunately, it does not. This movie offers nothing new. And I'm not saying that as a guy who wants to take this new spinoff down. It impedes on my love of Cobra Kai, because it really doesn't. It doesn't really have much to do with it. It doesn't have much to do with anything, to be honest with you. Do you want to know the real plot of this film? The tournament happens, and, you don't really get a lot of why he's entering this tournament, other than a couple of things set up in the beginning. You don't get a lot of why he and this other guy have such a big level of beef. They don't like each other. One of the guys is a bully. There's one little schoolyard battle, but that's it. The rest of this film doesn't ever focus on that. I mean, it is a rare case that this movie decides to fully focus on that coming-of-age element, or the reason why he's entering the tournament in the first place. In reality, Li Fong spends a good portion of the beginning of this film training the dad of the girl that he meets. Joshua Jackson plays that character to fight some guys that are coming after his restaurant. And that's a big portion of this film. And so part of me is like, well, that's kind of interesting, right? You've got this Karate Kid, this very skilled young boy. He's going through it himself. He himself is not perfect. We understand that. Nobody that age is. I was far from it. But he gets the opportunity bestowed upon him by this older guy to train this older dude to fight in a very different way. It's not karate, but to fight the guys that are coming after his livelihood. Just me saying that out loud, okay, that's kind of cool. But for it to be such a prominent, I mean, that is the story for the first half of this movie. Okay, cool. Well, where are they going to go from there? Well, then they go back to what you thought the story was going to be for the second half, don't have any time to build you to that point, and then they throw in Ralph Macchio. I mean, there is zero reason for Daniel LaRusso to be in this movie. I love him. He's great. He lights up the screen whenever he's there, him and Jackie Chan. I mean, it's not like the worst chemistry I've ever seen. There's not a beef between he and this kid. It's just, there's no, I mean, they give you a reason in the film, but the whole time you're thinking they just wrote that in. Like, that's not a compelling reason. It was a last second rewrite. Honestly, it kind of feels like LaRusso was a last second rewrite. And this isn't me saying, oh, what an absolutely devastating premise, some of the worst writing and character development I've ever seen. This potential Oscar winner failed to deliver what I had hoped. No, it did fail, but it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Like, I don't think this unknown actor is bad at all. Ben actually does a nice job playing Li Fong. He has some charisma to him. You would have been with him if they would have given him any form of development outside the very short spurts that we get in this very short movie. I mean, less than 90 minutes, not counting credits, of story trying to shoehorn two different movies into one product. It doesn't work. And I don't know whose idea it was for this to be a thing. And then by the end, you're expected to feel this wow factor with the payoff, and all of this buildup leads to this. And I'm thinking in the back of my head, what buildup? We were doing something different, and then it's like, oh, we got this fight. Let's train. Let's do a couple of montages. It's a lot of montaging through the training. And this kid, he's flipping all over the place. He's got some moves. It's spectacular. But we never really hit upon his skill set. That's kind of this background element that becomes really important at the end of the movie during the final battle, but there was nothing that led us to that moment. I feel like I'm conveying a lot of frustration here. This film is ultimately harmless. There's nothing about it that is offensive. I've seen coming-of-age movies, a lot of those Netflix films, coming-of-age movies with offensively bad dialogue, characters who are just dumb, continuously make stupid mistakes. The bully stuff is the bully stuff that I could consider bad. But I like this kid. I was rooting for this kid. I'm rooting for him to succeed all throughout the movie. There are some cute-ish interactions, but they didn't know where to go with it. They didn't know what to do with it. And they had to incorporate the big fight that we get zero lead into. And the buildup that we do get is so shoehorned together, it ultimately comes off as an extremely and entirely forgettable sequel that had the potential to be something special, but it's bogged down by so many things that had to be incorporated, apparently. Before I give you my score, what is your favorite Karate Kid movie? The best season of Cobra Kai? Do you prefer the show or the films? And how'd you feel about this one? Did you like it? Legends is a bland but harmless sequel with a handful of coming-of-age elements that showcase some potential in the beginning. The film ultimately shoehorns in the nostalgia and has little to offer within its final act, incorporating the expected montages and some well-choreographed fight sequences. Li Fong had potential as a character, but the script did him no favors. I would consider this sequel a misfire, but I'd love to know how you feel. Again, I use the word harmless because I do think longtime fans could enjoy this, and I think kids will have a pretty good time. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you soon.